Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Merca Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As you all know, this is just an open chat between myself and my viewers. I don't decide what we talk about. You decide what we talk about. So let me know what you want to talk about. Ask whatever. Doesn't have to be gun related. We talk about cars, comics, cryptids, all kinds of stuff all the time, and not just things that begin with C. Unless we're talking about like Johnny Mandrick and John Heasley, then we talk about the C word a lot. And a nominal snowman. You know, he bought 3 guns the other day when I didn't get any. And he didn't even think to give me one of them. So, C word there too. But as I was saying, you all ask all the questions. If you ask me anything technical and I don't know the answer, pay attention to live chat. Somebody there will. And if you want to pay attention, also participate. That way you can build a sense of community. Don't just sit in the shadows and listen, talk, become part of it. Let people know your name. Let them get to know who you are, what you like, you know, what you stand for. Stand for something. So participate. I like to read if we've got any orders over the last 24 hours to start off all the chats. I don't think we got any today, but I got to go check. Let's see. Oh, looks like we got one. We got one order today. It was a "We Used to Shoot Nazis" t-shirt, and it was from Gerald Omer. So Gerald Omer, thank you for supporting the program. If you all want to support the program, those of you watching this when it's not live, there's different ways you can do it. You can either do a super thanks if you want. That gets you the entries into all the same drawings that the people here live get. But you can also go over to my website, TYMPpistolproject.com. Over there, there's links to buy merchandise, like my little Gadsy the Snake here, where he says, "Tread on me again, I dare you." You see, he's got his Glock there in his little tail. So going over there, there's all kinds of stuff over there, dozens and dozens of designs, mostly fairly whimsical, but making a 2A point. So go over there, get yourself a hat, a mug, a tumbler, a t-shirt, a sweater, whatever you want, sweatshirt. I mean, get whatever you want and know that it goes to support a good cause, the programs we run here on this channel. You can also sign up to be a supporter. Patreon, Subscribe Star. You can do as much as you want. There's different tiers where you can get special patches and everything else over there. But you can also just do $2 a month. I mean, $2 a month is not going to be something you'll ever notice, but it will do some good. Because if enough people do $2 a month, well, that could be a set leg for an animal that's injured. That can be parvo treatment for a puppy. That could be, a spay or a neuter for a cat to help the unwanted cat population, because we donate to a lot of different organizations that do these things. And we also often help out with our own viewers and their pets. There's lots of people, probably some in here right now, whose pets are still here because of you all and your participation. So get involved. Like I said, $2 a month doesn't mean much to you, but it would mean a lot to animals in need. So you could do that. And also remember, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and hit that notification bell and select all. If you select some, you'll get none. So select all. With that being said, let's get over here and get to the questions. Oh, and remember, you can weigh in at any time during the chat tonight on the shoot the shit topic, which will be immediately afterwards. The topic tonight is, what is a firearm manufacturer that you love, that you think should be like in the top gun makers when people talk about the best gun makers, but just enough people don't appreciate them? You think they're an underrated, underappreciated manufacturer? Let me know in the YouTube super chat, and you'll be part of the after chat, the shooting the shit chat. All right, let's get over here and get started. We got Officer Tater Hater paying his $2 tithe to Phil, and everybody remember, pay $2 tithe to Phil minimum. If you don't want to get Lyme disease, if you don't want to end up like Justin Timberlake and some others, and Peter DeBoner, although I think he got better, pay your tithe to Phil. You either pay it live now, or you can do a $2 super thanks. That counts also as paying your tithe to Phil. And I know this is extortion, because if you don't, he is going to give you Lyme disease, or at least you'll get around to it eventually. Might not be right away. So don't take the risk. But Officer Taterhead said, I sent more emails. Those shiny badge clowns need that. Okay. That went south real fast. I'm usually ready for him to go to take that turn, but he took it quicker than he usually does. Sean Bain also paid his tithe to Phil and says, I say SIG giveaway. Well, we can do the SIG giveaway. Pig. It'd be the pig giveaway. Because it's the SIG P280 or the pig 2380 that I always say. The pig. The pig. Kevin Rawlings said, just saw the video on the ATD. If it is successful, do we want a version in 40 or 10 millimeter? Absolutely. I want 40 or 10. If I can only have one, do it in 10. If I can have both, do it in both. Maybe just a changeable barrel. That's all you need. You just need a barrel that's bored back a little bit because everything else is the same, as long as it's back far enough the extractor to get it and everything. So I think both. Why not do both? Why are things chambered in 9 freaking millimeter anyway, other than it's cost effective for manufacturers and NATO bullshit for their contracts with government. But it would be much better to have the standard caliber be 10 millimeter, because you can always neck that down, bore the barrel down a little less, and always put lower calibers in it. Whereas you can't do that with the 9. You have to get better barrels. So why not make everything in 10, easily switchable to 40? Maybe they should all come with a 40 and a 10 barrel. That's what I think. In fact, that could be a big thing that could be in the future. I think the 10 millimeter should be the base caliber. They should all come with 10 and 40 barrels. And then you can get a 9 millimeter conversion if you're infirm or something. That was Kevin Rawlings. Now we got Nathan Huxtable. And he said, Tankfolio is very underrated. Yes, it is. And that would be for the other chat, not this chat. But that you do through the YouTube super chat. But we'll read it now. That way you're at least heard. John Bush, I haven't seen him in a while. He said, put on your glasses and you will be a Hickok 45 clone again too. Many people disrespect Taurus. What model is your fave? I like them better than RRA. Taurus, what's my favorite Taurus? Wow, that's really going to be hard to say. I mean, the PT92 was great for a long time, but it's not really as relevant today. I think of their new guns. I like those 605 Toros, and the executive model. So those are pretty nice. Pretty nice. That was John Busk. Now we got Jeff Patterson paying his $2 tithe to Phil. And he said, CZ is underappreciated. Yes, it is. And that was also should be for the other chat, not this one. I tell you, it's like herding cats when I tell people. PayPal chat is for the Merc of Guns and Freedom. YouTube chat is for shooting the shit so I can share your comment with other people. And I know I don't get the money from those. YouTube usually steals it. And at the very most, I get 50%. I don't even think I get that because the other day, Dr. Deputy Dan or Deputy Dan DVM donated $100. And I got $45 of it. And that's after somebody else did a $2 chat. So they take like 55% or more. They lie and say it's 30, but then in the small print, after fees and other charges and blah, 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 that they charge. So that they pay themselves some money before they take out their money. You think that their money would cover their expenses, but no, they do it because that way they can say it's only 30%. Because if they told you we're going to take 55% of your money, well, they'd be violating a lot of contract laws in a lot of states and all these other things. So they don't do that. But they can't get charged with it anyway because they're above the law. The states know they're lying and doing that. Jeff Patterson paid his tithe to Phil. And I just read that, didn't I? He said CZ is underrated. So I read it twice, even though it doesn't go here. Daniel Mann also paid his tithe to Phil. And he said, I think CZ's unappreciated, especially their shotguns. Although I don't know if they make their shotguns or they just buy them from Turkey. But once again, Then we got Johnny Mandrick chiming in. YouTube chat is not working. Mine just came up and won't let me send super chats. I think they're fucking with my channel hard today. Of course, the banning everybody was way worse. I deleted probably 2,000 people that got blocked. Because, I went through and did 500, and then it said load another 500. I did that, and then it said load another 223. I did that. And then I had to go back and do all that like 3 more times. So there was a ton of fucking people blocked. And we cleared them not too long ago, remember? I took everybody, unblocked everybody. Even if you were a cunt. Jeff Patterson paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, Canic also. People are driving me crazy today. All right. Now Colin Griffith paid his $2 tithe to Phil, and he said, Super Chat's not working, but I think Kimber's being strong. I've always liked Kimber. I've never really had a problem with them. I think a lot of people have misconceptions about Kimber. And lunkheads like Never Enough Ammo spread that bad information. Damn lunkhead. Somebody's going to run and tell him I called him a lunkhead. People tattle. There's always someone tattles on all of us if we say something about the other one. Or if we say something in a video we think will piss the other one off, they can tattle. Will you or anyone else, for that matter, ever leave Harlan alive? I don't know what that means. Leave Harlan alive. Can someone decipher that for me? Because I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Johnny Mandrick weighed in again and said, for some reason, I can't send super chat for topics. CZ is underrated in general public, Taurus in the gun community. I agree 100%. I agree. Brian Smith weighed in and says, I offended several old farts at the Saints game here in New Orleans with my buy gay a gun. I just smiled at them and told them where I got the shirt. A fellow gun enthusiast from Chicago loved it. Well, it should make sense unless you're some old fucking racist bigot, homophobe. Everyone should hope that, if you really care about gay people, if you say, I'm the biggest supporter of gay, well, then give one of them a gun. I've given lots of people guns. I mean, you all seen people that I've given guns to in video where I take them shooting and I give them I'm not talking just through our programs. I'm talking me personally out of my collection, give someone I know a gun because they don't have one. I've gone through my SD from my Smith & Wesson SD or SD9V or whatever it was called. I gave that away. It was 40, I think mine was. Where was I? Who was that? Was that Brian Smith just asked me that? I think it was. Yes, that was Brian Smith that wore his buy a gay a gun. Eric Wong, and 2 Wongs don't make a white. $2 to the Razor Fund. The Razor Fund. Oh, for shaving? I don't need that. I got trimmers. I don't ever shave with a razor. I just take my trimmers and I do my top too. Mikey D chimed in and said, for some shots at the new double super secret giveaway and whatever else, I do what I can when I can. Not sure how much this month since Phil's slacking. Fucking truck in the shop. Recall free. Oh, also recall free. Oh, so also this 1,500. I don't know what that means, but I think he means his truck's in the shop for a recall. That's one thing I got to check about that car tomorrow. I got to make sure all the recalls are done, because we've had all the recalls done on Caden's car that we're selling. whoever gets Caden cars get the fucking bargain. It's got a brand new engine in it. It's got new custom leather front seats. It's got new custom gauges in it. It's got a, Bluetooth big screen navigation stereo. It's got a custom airbag cover with the Autobots label on it. It's got a custom shifter with the Autobots logo on it. A lot of custom stuff on it. New engine, rebuilt transmission. So it's in great. It's got a lot of going for it. Oh, new carbon fiber brakes. Same down to get new brakes. Comes back and he says $1,500. I was like, $1,500 for brakes. And he got like the special slotted rotors and the carbon fiber pad. It was just, I was like, oh my God. Where was I at? What was I talking about? I think Mike D. I was reading his. So let's read Salvador Verga now. SAR USA. It's a CZ75 clone. Yes, I'm familiar with SAR. I go into their booth at SHOT Show every time I go. Then lastly here we got Paul Rollerson chiming in. And he said, anyone know why the Bursa 380 and RIA-LI 380 have safeties that are backwards? Swipe down to safe the weapon. Well, swiping down is normal. And that's like what 1911s and everything are. Berettas are a swipe up, but you really swipe down on that little recessed area in the back and it pops them up. I'm not familiar with the Bursas, but swipe down is normal for a safety. So I'm confused. Brandon Austin says, what happened is every time someone says something Welper or Heasley don't like, they just block them. He just admitted it to me in the chat. I don't think that's true. I don't know if they can block people. I know they can temporarily hide them. But stop hiding people if y'all are hiding people. But temporarily hide them. Put them in a timeout. That's what it's called, a timeout. Give them time to think about what they said. Unless they come in and say just something racist. Then just fucking ban them. That's fine with me. But kind of let me know. So that way I don't ever unban them. I'll put them on a list or something. You're going to get on a list. You don't want to get on the list. You're never going to get off. I'll turn it over to the government, see if I can get you on the no-fly list too. See what we can do about that. I wish they'd put me on the no-fly zone list. Somebody be like, oh, there's a funeral, you got to come back. And I'd be like, oh, I can't. I'm on the no-fly zone, no-fly list. I'm going to start telling people I am, even if I'm not. That'd make sense, I think. And how are they going to check? You can't really check, can you? So if I like if one of my relatives died tomorrow and they're like, you got to come back for the funeral, and I don't want to, and I say I'm on the no-fly list, they can't check that, can they? Because that would be a good thing to do, right? I had never thought of that till just now. See, brainstorming in the chats can be a good thing sometimes. But that gets us done with the super chats. Let me go over here and see if we got any emails. We got a couple here. We got one from Daniel Mann. I hope he paid his tithe to Phil when he bought this, but he bought the new P99. He didn't get me one. They got them on sale at Grab a Gun, pretty damn cheap for something you can't hardly find anymore. So that one's still all greasy. Even comes with a little coin. How could you not buy it? Man, I want one of them so bad. I just don't got the extra cash to throw around right now. I'm using a line of credit to buy the car tomorrow until we can sell Cadence and I can pay it off. Luckily, I got a $50,000 line of credit with my bank that I never use. So I'm going to use that and then pay the exorbitant interest on it, which is like 18% until we get his car sold, which shouldn't be long. It's a hard to get car. It's a Bumblebee edition. It's it should sell pretty easy. Let's see here. Edgar Cortez sent in an email, but there's no pictures. It says, I sent a question regarding ball versus hollow ammo for my SIG P232. I thought you would answer it during the no FUD zone, but after 1 hour of listening to the no FUD zone, I realized it wasn't going to happen yet. We got off on a tangent. And then I got busy with other duties around the house. So would you recommend I use ball ammo in my 380 pistol? No, I wouldn't. I would recommend you use something like a solid copper extreme penetrator or extreme what's the other one? Extreme penetrators and extreme defender, I think. But yeah, something like that. A good copper bullet, maybe Fort Scott TUI would be a good choice because you got that penetration of a solid round with a little sharp point on it, and then you got that tumble upon impact effect to do a little more soft tissue damage. So I would recommend something like that. That's what I would recommend over ball or hollow point. I don't even carry hollow points. I almost always carry, if you look at any magazine I've got laying around, let me see if I can find a magazine, you know, where speed loader here, it's actually loaded. Yeah, like you'll see, they're not hollow points. I generally carry solid copper, extreme penetrators, extreme defenders, or let's see, I got some in here. The other one I like to carry. Where's it at? It would be there. Oh, yeah, right here. Like Fort Scott, solid copper, TUI, got that little point on the end, makes them really good at going in. And like I say, tumbles. So it does some good damage. You should look at some of the testing on it. And it goes right through like car windows and stuff, car doors even. All right, I think that's it for the super chats and the emails. And I think we're still caught up over on the supers. No, we got one more came in. It was John Baloney Jr. I've seen him a little bit. Every HK pistol from the USP to present is designed from the start to handle the 40 and then are downsized to accept 9mm. Many companies do it the other way, which is foolish. Yes, I like it better with her. I would like to see all the guns built for 10mm and then downgraded, you know, and then, you know, come with a 40 barrel, and then you can get a 9mm adapted barrel. You know, it would just be the bore would be a little bit tiny, like a millimeter off center. So yeah, I would like to see that. That's what I'd like to see. All right, let me get over to the live chat, see if there's anything over there we're missing. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's see if there's any questions coming in. Now you know what, you're not getting super chats and you think people aren't here. Yeah, YouTube went through and blocked everybody. Had to go through and unhide everyone. I mean, thousands of people. Just took me forever to delete all of them. Threaten them with your mustache. Who am I supposed to threaten with my mustache? I don't know. Your mustache is crooked. No, it's not. I told y'all it's my head. People say that all the time about my hat. They're like, your hat's crooked. I'm like, no, my head is. It's just shaped weird. And it's also very wide right here. That's why my eyes look close together. I mean, my head overall isn't that gigantic. It's big, but it ain't gigantic. But right through here, right in through this part, it's like my head is like a diamond, or like a two diamonds stuck. What is that shape when it's like that? It's narrow, then super wide, then back to, well, not a point. I don't have a point, but it's not. This is the widest spot on my head by far. It makes it hard for me to buy sunglasses and stuff because they pinch my head too bad, give me headaches. Are you going to sell your beard hair for the cause? If anybody wants it, I'll save it and give it to them. Not give it to them, I'll sell it to them. Yay, YouTube is a shit show. They definitely are. Our Seahawks lost, and I'm pissed just like you are. I couldn't give two shits. Don't care about the sports ball at all. Not into the sports ball. It is not my, what do you call it? Not my thing, not my scene. John Heasley said no. I don't know why he said no. I don't know what he's responding to. I'm assuming that you got my email yesterday. I don't know. Did I? What was it about? I don't get most emails, so probably not. I would never assume that I got an email. No one should ever be assumed. Never assume that I got their email. Although I'm getting a lot of emails now trying to get me, you need to find Jesus. No, I don't think I do. So whenever they said, how can you not believe in God? Even the devil believes in God. I'm like, that's like telling me the Easter Bunny believes in Santa Claus. You realize that, right? I was like, come to me when you have some evidence other than the Bible, because you can't use the Bible to try to justify the Bible. If you say that striker-fired pistols are an inferior design, then explain to me why 74% of firearm and law enforcement use Glocks, because it's cheap. And bidding usually goes to the lowest provider that can give them the guns. That's why they switched. And boy, when they did, people were mad and hated them and blah, blah, blah. But then they were like, well, you hardly ever shoot your gun. So they lived with it because it was a budget thing. They're cheaper to make. They're cheaper to service. They're just cheaper, period. So big organizations that got to buy them love them. And so do tactitards who were brainwashed into thinking they're awesome. There was an attempted mass shooting at the Google complex a few years ago. Google owns YouTube. I bet they were taken down fast. Those people got security, armed security, I'm sure. Yesterday, someone said he was tired of the no FUD zone topic, but this bozo didn't suggest a new topic. Well, yeah, that happens all the time. People bitch about what we're talking about, or, hey, you've never said anything about this. I'm like, well, have you ever come in and asked about it? Or, yeah, I don't like what y'all are talking about. Well, did you suggest any alternatives? I don't see anything coming in from you. So, emails. I've been checking my emails. I've been looking at the super chats. I don't see you suggested a topic. And usually if I do find them and they're like, I asked 5 times yesterday this and you never answered me, and I'll go back and look at the trend. And not once did they put out the Yankee Marshal in front of it. And I'm like, pretty damn clear that if you don't put out the Yankee Marshal in front of your comment or your question, I ain't going to see it in the live chat. That's why I also encourage people to send me emails or do a super chat. Don't be a fucking cheap. If you got something that's that important to you to be seen, be heard, get an answer to, pay $2 to the Pets and Vets Fund. It ain't going to kill you. For purchases, do you mostly use Gunbroker? Oh no, I buy all my guns at a gun shop mostly. I don't buy online. I buy in person at my gun shop. And if I see something on Gunbroker I like, unless it's something you can't get anymore, I go to my gun shop and I say, can you get me one of these? What motor does that Mustang your son's getting have? It's got that 4.6 liter V8. So, it's not the great. It's a good, reliable motor, but it's not the most powerful. In fact, going from his V6 Camaro to the V8 Mustang, he'll be losing about 20 horsepower. Now, he'll gain about 40 pounds of torque, but he'll lose about 20 horsepower. And we've talked about that. I'm like, it's going to be top end's going to be a little slower and a little lower. And, bottom end will be faster. 0 to 60 will be faster. But you're going to have to, those are going to be some giveaways. You're giving away 20 horsepower, although you're getting 40 pounds of torque. He said, I know, but it's also going to sound a lot better, and it's easier to work on and easier to modify. That engine in his LS is just, that thing is a bitch every time you got to work on anything. Just a total bitch. In fact, I called it a Heasley many times when we were taking the manifolds off. It's like, you fucking Heasley. So there's those things. Is 454 Casull expensive ammo? Yes, it's expensive ammo. Getting a box of 20 is more expensive than getting a box of 50 and most anything else. Have you paid your tithe? Maybe that's why YouTube is messing with you. I more than pay my fucking tithe. I had to put over $800, well, almost $800 in the account this week just to cover what's coming out because we were that far short. Our Patreon was down to where we're making less than $1,800 a month on Patreon. And Patreon used to cover friends, voices, and pets and vets. That's not even, it's covering friend or voices and most of friend. That's not covering any of pets and vets now. So pets and vets is having to be covered out of super chats, and that doesn't quite do it. I mean, $330 a day after everything clears out, $40 a day sometimes. Doesn't do it, because we owe like $2,800 a month or something like that in just regular payments that come out monthly for different animal charities, like our payments that go to different animal rescues that we did a monthly donation to, that are they go on every month. And I don't want to have to stop them, because then I'll forget how to set them back up again and which ones to set up again. So I had to put the money in to cover it. That counts as me paying my tithe. And I give away my own guns to try to keep that chat money coming in. So that's me paying my tithe. And then I still get shit. So I'd hate to think what would be happening if I wasn't paying my tithe. It's like when people bitch, like, I paid my tithe and I got a cracked windshield. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And you probably would have died if you hadn't paid your tithe, because there was probably a boulder going to fall on you and crush you to death. But Phil whittled it down to a little rock before it got to you. So he saved your life. Or they'll say, oh, my car broke down. I'm like, Phil made your car break down because he knew you were going to get in a fatal accident when you left. So he said, well, I'll just blow out his alternator and he won't get in a fatal accident. Y'all don't look at things right. You don't understand that he works in mysterious ways. So yeah, you got to figure that out. I recognize that mustache Yankee as a Viltrumite. I wish I was a Viltrumite. There'd be some squished heads. There'd be a lot of people running around right now with big caved in heads, because I would be used. I've always told people, no, I ain't going to be no Superman. If I was a Jedi, I would definitely be a Sith, because if I got the power, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to do what I want to do. If anybody gets in my way, they're going to be sorry. So if I had the power of Superman, I'd probably be emperor of the world pretty quickly, because I'd go to every Congress and every leadership group in all the major countries and just laser vision everyone to death. Fly to the next one, laser vision everybody to death, fly to the next one, and tell the president, put the military in charge, and they answer to me. And everybody would live happily ever after under my benevolent rule. And that's why I know I should never be given too much power, because I understand that about myself. Some people don't understand that about themselves. And make sure we're still caught up over here. We'll keep going with the regular chats. We'll end here in a few minutes because we will be doing the shooting the shit probably at about a quarter after. Remember, the shooting the shit topic today: is there a gun manufacturer that you really like, that you think is far underrated or is extremely underappreciated? Well, let me know via the YouTube super chat. Magazine 10 millimeter is longer, so issue with magazines and different length rounds where you buy different magazines. That's not hard. They can give you different magazines, or maybe one that just has an insert in it that you take out for the 10 millimeter. I mean, come on, think of solutions, not problems. That's what I always tell my son. Stop thinking about why things can't be done, or you can't solve the problem right now, and think about how you can get around the problem. If you did that, you'd be a lot better off. 10 millimeter is a horrible idea, only good in bear country. Oh, that's absolutely insane. 10 millimeter doesn't suddenly stop being good because you take it out of bear country. It's good everywhere. NEA is a private security guard now. I think he's I think he's in ICE. Most people cannot handle the recoil of a 10 millimeter, so please stop. Yes, they can. Most people can fucking handle the recoil of a 10 millimeter. Most little girls and elderly women might have an issue, but most men could do it just fine. And most women could do it just fine. 10 millimeter is not hard to handle. That whole thing, oh, the FBI got rid of it because it was too stout. No, it was too stout for 80-pound women and pencil pushing geeks who had to qualify. But no, normal people can handle it just fine. 10 millimeter is nothing. 10 millimeters far less abusive than 357 Magnum to shoot, especially in bigger guns. So just not a problem. And it, like I said, you can always put the 40 in it. If you're a girl, if you're a small child or an elderly woman, you can go to the 40 or get the 9 millimeter conversion. Where did you get the decals for your car? I go to a custom shop, and a vinyl shop, and they just put them on. They cut them out on a plotter and stick them on. I design them, send them the designs, they cut them out on a plotter, and they stick them on. And it's surprisingly expensive. Every time I do a car, it's about $800. Of course, I do get the clear bra and stuff too, and that's another expense. It's a song also in the show Justified. What? I don't know what we're talking about. I've never seen the show Justified. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. Oops, I'm out of soda. I'll have to go get another one before we do the next part of the chat. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV shows. YouTube wouldn't work for me, so I had to use PayPal to tithe. Better to use other means than miss a tithe. Yeah, it's way better. You don't want to die or get Lyme disease. Because if you get Lyme disease, you can't count on the fact that if you pay your tithes up, you get caught up, that he'll bother to take it away. Because, you know, he might just give it to you and then he'll not pay attention to you again. So you might not get it rectified. Peter DeBoner was very lucky. I put a good word in for him, and he got his Lyme disease taken away. I'm pretty sure. It might just be in remission, but I think it's done. It's gone. Can Lyme disease go in remission? Someone should look that up for me. If not, he might be in serious trouble still. Let's see. Yeah, recall was free. Went to pick it up. There are like of front brakes and rotor. They are like of front brakes and rotor, water pump, and a motor mount. Well, water pumps and stuff is usually a pain to fix, but everything else should be easy. Brakes and stuff. Brakes are easy. Brakes are the easiest thing to do. The only thing I don't like about brakes is bleeding fucking brake lines. And I finally broke down the other day and got one of the little hand pump tools to bleed the brake lines, and it made it a lot easier. I'll tell you that. Didn't have to rig up that, the bottle and stuff system. So, where am I at? So why get rid of Caden's car? He wants to get rid of it and get something different. I don't understand. He's 20. Well, I mean, I understand. And plus, when he got his Camaro, I had a Camaro. So we both had Camaros, and he liked that. So now I've got the Mustang, and I'm probably going to keep this Mustang for a while. And so he wants a Mustang because I said, I think I'm going to keep this Mustang until the warranty runs out. And then I'm going to put a supercharger on it because I've never done that, and I've always wanted to. Just keep my own car and put a supercharger on it. So, and I might even do it sooner than that if I do it through Ford, but that makes it so expensive doing it through Ford. But if I found some way I could get a deal on it, I'd do it. But since I might keep this one, he's wanting to get a Mustang now. So we both have Mustangs. Now he does want to take the cam out of it and change it and get it up to like 550 horsepower and all this stuff. But I'm like, that can wait till later because I can't afford it. And I know you can't afford it. I'm a mod in another channel, and the most I can do is put someone in a timeout for 24 hours. Yeah, I thought they couldn't ban people fully. Where am I at? No, we can't block people. Okay. Where am I at? How much would you pay me to maul you? Oh, mail me? I don't want your boxer shorts. I don't even wear boxers. I wear briefs. I never understood men who wear boxers. I'm like, do you got like tiny little marble balls or something? Or how do you keep them from sticking to your leg when you're wearing boxers? What do you think of America just blowing up a drug boat, not even coming here or in our waters? I don't know. don't know. I haven't looked into it. Olam Drab. Thanks for standing up for people, by the way, Yankee. That was properly principled. When did I do that? I don't know when I did that, but you're welcome. We got an order. We didn't have any orders today, but we got one. Oh, no, wait, we did have one order today. We had an order today. Now we got two. It's from Daniel Lampkin. Daniel Lampkin. And he got a "We Used to Shoot Nazis" t-shirt. In this country, we used to shoot Nazis. The cotton t-shirt. That's two of those we've sold today. So yay. Yay. We got two orders today. And that way, now that I've read it, I can push it through later when it comes time. All right, let me make sure we're all caught up on the super chats because we are out of time. I need to move on. Thanks for standing up for people not often heard. I don't know who maybe the transsexuals that you're talking about. Well, yeah, I don't understand transsexuals. I don't get it because I've never suffered from it. But I don't like people belittling their struggle. I also don't like people co-opting their struggle. I don't like the fact that every teenager who thinks it's trendy does it. I'm like transgender. Maybe because, that's not the same as transsexual, but make sure you make the distinction. You don't hate your penis and want it gone, or you don't look down at your vagina and think that's not right. That shouldn't be there. You just like to be either an effeminate boy or a butch girl. That's not the same as being actually transsexual or transvestite or anything else. I support your right to be either, but then again, there's also things that come with that. Like I can stand here and 100% say I support everybody's right to do what they want, be what they want, even have surgery to change it once they're a certain age. I do not, however, agree with your right to just say I'm a girl and then start competing in girl sports, even though you still got all your junk. Or even if you lose your junk, but that's the sacrifice you make. Society accepts you, but you can't compete against girls. You got an advantage. Why not prioritize your charities first instead of other gun channels? Because I think that they're very important. And I think putting your money where your mouth is very important. Why does doing whatever you want always have to involve hurting people and controlling people? It doesn't. How does that doing whatever you want hurt other people, control other people? As long as you're not hurting other people, depriving other people of their rights, you should be able to do what you want. And you don't get to say when you are hurting people, just like, oh, you're violating my First Amendment rights or whatever. No, it's not what that amendment means. So, yeah, your rights go as far as someone else's rights start, where someone else's start. So, but once you're in your little bubble where you're not hurting nobody, doing anything that anybody doesn't want done, then people should leave you the fuck alone. Let you make your own decisions. If I had the power of Superman, I got sick and tired of the world, I'd just fly to another planet and live there instead. But where are you going to find life? It's so random out there, and you wouldn't even know where you're going. You'd end up flying forever, probably dying. So might end up flying into a star system that doesn't have a yellow sun, which makes no fucking sense, by the way. Why he can metabolize yellow sunlight but not red or whatever, I don't get it. But that was the stupidest thing they ever came up with. I just don't understand that. And then someone will shine a red solar ray at him. They're like, he's a living solar battery. He stores up this power, or else he wouldn't have powers at night. And then someone will come and go like, here's a red lamp that simulates red sun energy. Now you're powerless. Well, why would he be powerless now? He might not be recharging correctly, but why is he powerless? You didn't drain him. You just provided him. That's like saying, you just ate a 7-course meal, but here's some spinach, and you hate spinach. So you're starving now. No, it doesn't make sense. I know that doesn't got anything to do with what we should be talking about, but it doesn't make sense. But that's it for us today. I didn't get to all the live chat. I hopefully got the most of it. But thanks, everyone. If we had to deal with all that crap with YouTube at the beginning. But stick around, everybody. We're going to do shooting the shit here in just a second. But otherwise, we're done with this part of the chat. So thanks to everybody for participating, sticking around through all the hoopla we had to go through at the beginning. I appreciate everything y'all do for the channel. Until tomorrow, remember, always carry, and maybe I'll be here tomorrow, maybe not, depends if I get back in time. Until tomorrow, or maybe the next day, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.